Hey everyone, I'm here today with the game Reavers of Midgard. This is a game from Gray Fox Games and designed by Aaron Holland. It plays 2 to 6 players. I found it took about half an hour to 45 minutes depending on player count. Let's take a look at how to play the game and then I will tell you what I think about the game. Here we are set up roughly for a 4-player game of Reavers of Midgard. We're going to be traveling to locations and getting these Reavers, getting different things here that are points. There's some set collection going on and some negotiation in the game. Each player is going to get a player screen. They're going to get a point marker. They're going to get a token for their ship, and they're going to get an identical set of cards for those locations. You can take out the ones you're not using. We didn't use 2 locations here. They're numbered 5 and 6 for Odense and Lervik, and those accompanying location cards can just get set to the side because we're not going to use them. The player screens are useful both for hiding how much stuff you have and also showing what goes on in the game. Before we get into gameplay though, I want to explain what goes on with setup. With setup, you have these different locations, Roskilde, which is used in every game, Bjorkvin, Tonsberg, Nidaros, and Vestaras. With each of these, you have these little cards that go on them. They look like this. And you can see that they have different symbols on, but they have an A side and a B side. They all start on the A side, and you just put those on the matching location. The way that you know that they match is the illustrations will match up on them. Like here, you can see the C next to this little town. Once you've done the setup here with 4 Reavers, your location set up, every player having all their stuff, and selecting a first player, you're ready to begin the game. In the course of a round, the very first thing you do is flip a supply card and stock the locations. So let's take a look at what we would do for this one. This one means put a coin at everywhere that has a coin symbol. This one's only get 1, the others will get 2. And we continue in that way with other things shown on this card. So this one is get a provision card here at these. These locations get a provision card. And they do go face up. And then we also have get a tower at the locations that get a tower. Towers are worth more than walls and farms, but we get a tower here and not here, but here. And then finally, get rid of 2 of the Reavers. Anytime you see this symbol of the X, the red X, it means that you're going to remove something from gameplay or spend it. So in this case, we would remove these 2 Reavers here, slide these down, and get 2 new Reavers. Then we flip any locations where there are boats. There are no boats out yet. That's just what that symbol means. There's also things that make you flip over Roskilde. And then we're ready to begin play. So the next thing on our little handy dandy list here is play destination cards. Like I said, everybody has the same cards. You can set the cards to the side that you're not going to use in this game. So that would be card number 5 and number 6. You won't use those. So you can set this cards to the side that you're not going to use. I just have Roskilde and then cards 1 through 4 because I'm playing a 4-player game. You play a destination card by everyone selecting at the same time, playing it face down, and then flipping it face up at the same time. Next, you're going to activate the location abilities and collect rewards. So let's say that some of us saw that we have a chance to get, actually there should be 2 coins here. So 2 coins here and 2 coins here and towers, and those towers are worth 6 coins if we turn them in for that. Maybe then 2 of us go here and then 1 ends up going here, but this person realized that there's probably going to be a fight. So this person went over here. So we all place our boats out on the locations we went to. I'm going to set them down, even though you would stand them up when you're actually playing, but so you can see that they are boats. But in this case, this person would just get this stuff, including the provisions card. Provisions cards are great because they give you an additional way to get points from your sets of things. So like this one gives you points for armor. So for all the armor that you get in the game, you're going to get additional points. And this player would also get to collect their stuff without having to pay attention to anyone else. But when we get here, something slightly different is going to happen in that there's a chance to split these rewards. But the first thing you're going to do is you're going to add a terror to it. So you might say something like, I will let you have the tower if you're going to take the terror with you, but even still, that's probably a better deal because terror is worth about 2 coins, and this tower is worth an additional 2 coins because it's worth about 6 coins. So you might say, you know what, if you give me the tower and a coin, 3 coins in the future, I'll take the coins. You can have the tower and the terror. I'll take the 2 coins. You give me 3 coins in the future. And then that's one way to split up. If we can't come to an agreement, the green player and the purple player, about what's going to happen there, we both take a terror anyway. So if you really don't like it and you think that there's going to be more stuff happening here, then you both take a terror and you then move on to the next phase. And when you move on to the next phase, these spoils are going to stay here. So the game's going to be over when 10 of these supply cards have been flipped. In other words, all of the ones that are in the game. And then you're going to count up your points. You're going to get a bunch of points. Hopefully you get over 100 there and you're like at 135 or something. These are double-sided 50 and 100 there. But everybody will get their points. Let's take a look at what the different cards are here and what happens with the Reavers too and how you get points in the game. First up, let's look at the Reavers. So the Reavers have a cost in the upper right-hand corner. They also have this symbol here, and which is, I guess, the palm of a sword. So you either have the palm of the sword or a helmet on them. You're going to take palms times helmets, and that's one way that you get glory or points in the game. Another way is going to be from these provision cards. Again, let's just take a look at a random one here. This one says, oh, because it is a weapon, you're going to roll. We haven't even talked about these yet. I was going to in a second. So this one's a weapon, so you roll, and as long as it's blank, you get 5. If you roll 2 of the sides are terror, so you might get terror, or you might get another provision card. 2 of the sides are that. So 2 blank sides, 2 terror sides, and 2 provision sides on these dice when you get the weapons. Going back to this Reaver here, this one has 1 sword handle palm, and then it costs 4, and it says score 3 for each. Glory for each set of farms, walls, and towers. And this is a good one because in any case, your farms, walls, and towers are going to get glory for each of them individually. Plus, there's a set. So this turns your sets into an additional 3 points. So you're going to get a total of 7 points for every complete set of these tokens, the farm, the wall, and the towers that you have. So right there, that's 7 points. And you can see how these points just rack up quickly. This one, it just costs 2, and you get a terror when you get it, but it has 2 of the sword hilt, palms, handles, whatever. And this one has 2 helms. It costs 4. There's nothing down here on this one. So the cost is either going to be in terror or coins, and they're going to have different things. Interestingly, this one is basically the same card, just the sword handle one, but it costs 5 instead of 4. And you'll see the variation like that within the deck of the Reavers. I do like the art on these. It's pretty fun for a Viking game. Up here, though, we have our Roskilde, which is only going to get flipped when it specifically says flip Roskilde. But it has things like pay a terror. Every player who goes to Roskilde can choose to activate all the things on here. You're just going to take turns activating them, or you could like choose to activate or pass if turn order does matter. But pay a terror take a terror to get a Reaver card. I wish the color on the Reavers on this little symbol was the same as the back here, but it is the same symbol on the back here with a Viking with a wooden shield, a round shield. The next one is you can pay a coin to refresh the market before you get 2 coins paying the normal cost. This one, you do have to pay the coin cost too. Pay a coin to take a farm, pay a coin to take a wall, and pay 2 coins to get rid of a terror. And that's why I said the terrors are essentially worth 2 coins. Other side, very similar. These top ones are the same. The one that's different are these 2 here at the bottom. Pay 3 coins to get a tower. And so I think I said 6 earlier, but they are worth more glory at the end of the game. So 1, 2, and 3. But here, 4 coins to get rid of a terror and give someone else a terror. So that's why this thing over here is interesting here, because this is it's I don't know. This might be an even trade. But you also might say, if I'm going to take this tear, you're going to have to work out what you want to do with taking tear and trading things off in the game. But that's raw skilled. It starts on the A side, and it will get flipped throughout the game. Then this one is pay. Oh, this is where I got the 6 from. That's right. Pay a farm to get 2 coins, wall to get 4, and tower to get 6. And those coins are worth half a point at the end of the game. Every 2 coins is worth a full point. And then on the other side, it says, before you divvy up the rewards here, look at how many players are here and add 2 coins is what the B side is for that one. This one is pay 3 coins to get rid of a terror. So slightly worse than the one at Roskilde. And this one side is get a Reaver at a +2 cost. Interesting, right? Next one is take a terror to get a provision card. One of these that has that same symbol on the back there. And the next one, other side is just like the other, kind of, but for every person here, get a coin on the location before you give out rewards. And then finally, this one is take a terror to look at 2 different provisions, get rid of 1, keep 1. The other side is get rid of a provision to get 5 coins. That's all the locations in a 4-player game. I'll show you the 5 and 6 real quick too. In a 5-player game, there's Odense, and Odense has this one, the city here, where you, let's see, A side. This city is take a terror to get your choice of a farm, a wall, or a tower. It has 3 coins and a provision at the bottom, which is pretty cool. You kind of need it in that 5 and 6-player game. Get rid of one of those 3 things to get rid of a terror that you have. And then Leirvik, A side, get a Reaver at +1, which is like the one over here, but it's not quite as bad. It only gives 2 coins in provision though. But here, for every 2 that are here, you put a provision, an additional provision. So it already has 1 provision. If there are 2 people that go here, you're kind of incentivized to send 2 people here, and then you get more provisions, or you're just going to get provisions. It's an interesting one. It can be an interesting one, depending on how your group plays. If you can't tell, this game is very group dependent. I found that generally it plays pretty fast. What I realized I need to do after the first couple times is lay some ground rules of the negotiations, how the negotiations are going to go. Basically, we're going to say you have to make up your mind within 5 seconds of somebody offering something to you. And if you don't do that, then we're going to move on just to keep the game moving, because I think this game is most fun when the game keeps moving. It also highly depends on you getting along and having a collegial spirit with those that you're playing with, because of those negotiations. If somebody just wants to see other people get wrecked and get messed up in the gameplay, they could do that a little bit by like just continuing to give them terror. They're not going to win themselves, but they're going to do a little bit of king making. Just be aware of that. Be aware of your own group dynamic. I liked the game. I liked what was going on. There were a couple things that I wanted to see a little bit more of that could have been a little bit different. So going back here, one of the things was the symbols were small. Like I said, the colors don't match for everything. The symbols here probably could have just been a little bit larger. I don't think that it was the card size problem for these little cards. It was just, why not make the symbols a little bit larger on these ones? I guess it's for continuity with the coins over here. But overall, it's pretty clear. I like everything that was going on there. But these symbols are small, and if you're in a small or dimly lit place, you're gonna have trouble seeing like what some of these are. I don't know that, especially on the provisions, for example, you needed to make all of these symbols quite so small. But I like the set collection. I like the negotiation element. I think this game is best at 4 or 5. I enjoyed it, but it's not going to be for everyone. I liked the artwork and what was going on as far as gameplay, but just be aware that this will not be for everyone. This won't be for people who like complete knowledge, because there is that randomization of the rolling and the decks, and so there's a little bit of luck dependency, but you can kind of anticipate where people are going. Reavers of Midgard is very much about the over-the-table stuff. Although you're doing some heads-down things, thinking about what you want to do next, there's the negotiation that's happening, and I would just find that right place for your group where you're going to say, we're going to be spending this much time on negotiations. Some people are going to like some things and other people aren't going to like some things. That's not a rule that's in the game, but I think that there's going to be a house rule to make this game work for your group and what those negotiations look like. One thing some people won't like is that the promises that you make when you're doing that negotiation are absolutely not binding for future rounds. They're only binding right then. And that's going to throw a little people off, but you need to know your group and your group dynamic. That's probably my biggest takeaway for this game, is that it is highly group dependent. Every game can be that way a little bit, but this one even more so because the rules allow for that flexibility. Overall, Reavers of Midgard from Gray Fox Games is a fun game. I liked it. Thanks to the publisher for sending me this review copy. My opinions are my own otherwise. I think that this game will appeal to those looking for a good game night game that lasts 30 to 45 minutes, maybe an hour, depending on your group and those rules that you set up. Let me know what you think. Happy gaming, and I'll catch you later.